how many others were involved?
Look, our investigation is ongoing. We are committed to bringing justice to everyone who's been victimized.
Is whether there was an allegation that there was some sort of law enforcement investigation pending, because then that would be a crime.
The investigation into Diddy's notorious parties is heating up, and it seems the courtroom doors are starting to swing open, revealing more names linked to the music mogul. Diddy has recently been arrested on serious charges, and while he awaits his sentencing, federal investigators are uncovering a trove of evidence. Rumors are swirling in Hollywood that other powerful figures might find themselves facing the same scrutiny.
Obviously, this stuff has been going on for a decade or more.
It looks like Jay-Z was trying to lay low while waiting for the legal storm surrounding Diddy to pass, but the feds may have caught him in a compromising situation. Reports indicate that federal agents have footage from one of Diddy's infamous parties that allegedly shows Jay-Z engaging in illegal activities. This puts him squarely in the center of the investigation, especially given the serious nature of the accusations against Diddy. According to the indictment, Diddy distributed various controlled substances during these gatherings to keep the attendees compliant and obedient. Afterward, both he and the victims reportedly received IV fluids to recover from the physical strain and substance use. Now it appears that similar footage may have implicated Jay-Z, who likely had no idea about the hidden cameras capturing the events at Diddy's mansion. What he thought would remain a secret is now under federal scrutiny, raising questions about the depth of their involvement and the potential fallout for both music moguls.
Yeah, Puff throws the best parties ever. There's no competing with him, but I got him this time.
It's hard to say this was unexpected. Diddy has reportedly boasted about his extensive collection of intimate videos featuring numerous celebrities, claiming he used these recordings to wield power and influence in the industry. Allegations suggest he leveraged sensitive, embarrassing, and incriminating footage from these parties as a means to ensure the silence and compliance of his guests. Now, poor Jay-Z finds himself in a precarious situation, seemingly unaware that his close friend would betray him like this. Sources who have seen the footage featuring Jay suggest it might involve troubling circumstances, including the possibility that some of the attendees were underage. This has sparked renewed scrutiny into Jay-Z's past, with some claiming he has a history of controversial choices, including accusations that he was involved with his wife before she reached the age of consent. As these revelations come to light, the stakes for everyone involved continue to rise.
Magnificent performer. I steal routines from her. She stole many things from me.
Diddy's fate seems all but sealed, especially given the chilling nature of the accusations against him. The judge assigned to the case has already denied bail twice, and the outlook isn't promising for the music mogul. Meanwhile, federal authorities are pressing on, as many victims have indicated in their lawsuits that there are others involved in activities just as disturbing as Diddy's. This entire situation has come as a shock to Jay-Z, who viewed Diddy's parties as a safe haven for his own questionable encounters.
I got the tape, bro. But it's some very important people on that tape also.
Who would have thought Jay-Z could find himself tangled in this mess? His public image has always been so pristine, but insiders suggest he's been adept at concealing the truth about his marriage. Reports claim that the Carters have been sleeping in separate bedrooms for years, living essentially separate lives while projecting a unified front to the public. While Beyoncé basked in her status as an R&B icon, Jay was often found at Diddy's mansion, indulging in a lifestyle that contradicted the image he presented on stage. This stark contrast raises questions about what really goes on behind closed doors and how deep the connections in this world run. As the layers peel back, the truth may be far more complicated than anyone imagined.
Are comfortable for me. You know, these are things that I like.
With the full exposure of video evidence now in the Fed's possession, Jay-Z finds his reputation and freedom hanging by a thread. Social media users have been quick to predict this outcome, with one commenter suggesting, Diddy needs to sing and rat out the celebs. He's got most of them on tape. No one's helping him. Jay ran and let him take the fall. The feds will be coming for you too, Jay. Another user chimed in, noting that Jay-Z is laying low. He's not as foolish as Diddy. The implications of this investigation are immense, and it seems Hollywood is on the brink of a significant shakeup. The feds have mobilized all their resources to delve into Diddy's collection of recordings, and Jay-Z has emerged as a primary target. Some sources within the federal investigation are reportedly saying that thanks to incriminating footage, Jay-Z may be just a step away from sitting next to Diddy in court. The stakes are high, and the fallout could reverberate through the entire industry.
Combs did not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
The friendship between Diddy and Jay-Z dates back to the early 1990s, and it seems that by that time, Jay had already experienced his share of questionable encounters. However, it was in the new millennium that his troubling preferences began to attract public attention, starting with his association with another convicted felon, R. Kelly. The two spent a considerable amount of time together while working on an album, raising questions about the nature of their interactions. It's unclear if Jay-Z fully embraced a predatory lifestyle during that period, but he was certainly surrounded by young girls who should not have been in the studio with them. As rapper NZ revealed in an interview, while Jay and R. Kelly were recording Best of Both Worlds, it's hard to believe Jay didn't notice when a 14-year-old girl came into the studio and sat on R. Kelly's lap. The implication is that while they were working on the album, Jay must have seen such instances occurring. While we can't definitively pinpoint when these behaviors began for Jay, he has seemingly managed to keep the darker details of his private life hidden from the public eye, carefully maintaining his polished image despite the troubling associations.
Sean Carter is worse. He's smarter. He's patient.
Digging into Jay-Z's past reveals a troubling pattern that raises many eyebrows. A closer look at his alleged relationships, especially when it comes to the ages of his romantic interests, uncovers a lot of shady connections. Jay-Z seems to have a habit of working closely with teenage artists, which echoes Diddy's questionable mentorship of young stars like Usher and his weekend escapades with Justin Bieber. Jay has also faced scrutiny for his own mentorship program, particularly concerning Tiara Mary, who joined his label at just 16. She later admitted that she and Jay became quite close, prompting questions about whether their relationship crossed ethical boundaries. This pattern of associations raises serious concerns and calls into question the dynamics of power and influence in the industry, making it difficult to overlook the potential for exploitation.
You know, the whole thing with Jay-Z.
Yeah, everybody said that.
Jay-Z took her under his wing.
If this doesn't raise suspicions, consider the timing of Jay-Z suddenly dropping Tiara Mary just before her high school graduation. It seems they used her while she was useful and then tossed her aside when she became a burden. Given the recent revelations about Diddy's parties and Jay's involvement, it's possible Tiara has come to realize she dodged a bullet by stepping away from that environment. Being in the industry often means getting entangled in risky and questionable situations, as we've seen in the past few months. Tiara might not regret the fact that her association with Jay compromised her chances to build a career in Hollywood. Instead, she may see it as a blessing that ultimately kept her away from a toxic industry that can exploit young talent.
Well, I'm definitely at a point where
Jay-Z's approach to discovering talent took cues from his friend Diddy, who always found new artists eager for a chance in the spotlight. However, questions have arisen around Jay-Z's connections with some of his young female artists, particularly one artist who reportedly signed a deal at 15. According to some sources, Jay-Z allegedly placed significant pressure on her to sign with his label, even keeping her in a room until the deal was finalized. There are also persistent rumors.
This office is determined to investigate and prosecute no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be.
It looks like tough times are ahead for Jay-Z, as authorities seem determined to crack down on everyone even remotely connected to these disturbing allegations. Social media users are already gearing up for what could be one of the year's most shocking revelations. One person commented, "Don't stop at Diddy, there are many above him. Don't just make him the fall guy." Another added, "I knew Jay-Z was next after Diddy. Damn, it feels good. This fall brings more than just cool weather. It feels like Hollywood might be facing a major shakeup, with powerful figures being linked to these activities." What do you think about these latest developments? Could Jay-Z be the next to face consequences?